John, once again, you've knocked it out of the ballpark. CoMotion Miami is a huge success.
Well, thank you, and we've only just started. So.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
Well, look, people have come from around Florida, around the country, and around the world, actually, to Miami for this 6th edition of CoMotion Miami. The focus this year is on a lot of different things. It's on mega events. The World Cup is coming here, as it is to other American cities. So we're talking about the effect of mega events like that on a city and the sort of mobility challenges that represents. But I think underlying everything is the need for cities, not only in the United States, but around the world, to be more self-reliant, to not depend on federal largesse as much. And I think that's one of the things we've seen with the difference between the Biden and the Trump administrations is that those federal dollars are diminishing. That presents a whole host of new challenges, but that means cities have to be more nimble and more innovative. And that's one of the things that we look at CoMotion, is bringing the public and private sector to look at some of those innovative solutions that can help cities bring on innovative and sustainable mobility solutions in the future. It's the kind of thing you look at day to day very closely. The core of what we look at CoMotion is different modes of mobility, multimodality.
Okay.
And the new world is figuring out how those modalities can seamlessly fit and interact with one another. Leitner-Poma is gondola systems for cities.
Yeah.
Can be very, very efficient. We have inside REGENT Craft,
Yes.
which is a company I love. They're making electric sea gliders that glide a little bit over the surface of the waves. It will revolutionize how cities, particularly on the coast, how you get from point A to point B. You just hop in one of these and it kind of drops you off a half an hour later up the coast. Awesome. So you don't have to go into a diesel burning ferry, for example.
So now you've got the outside, but also the inside here. But lots of exhibitors here.
Yeah, we got, of course, our friends at HNTB who are, do amazing work in putting in iconic infrastructure across the country, and they're really thinking about how to approach infrastructure in a very innovative and creative way in the future. US Bank, which looks at payment systems in transit, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
How you figure that out in a more innovative way. VinFast, electric vehicles, they're here to stay. They're not going away. So we love all different kinds of mobility. Of course, we have, urban air mobility, advanced air mobility crowd.
Yeah.
We've been championing from the very first days of CoMotion 8 years ago.
I remember that, yeah.
And no one was talking about it then, but it's gonna happen, it's coming.
John, you're also doing a lot of work in the field of hydrogen, which is close to my heart. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we've been looking at that for a while, and I think it's pretty clear that if we have a real need to decarbonize mobility. And we can do that through battery electric, but battery electric doesn't serve every purpose. For example, heavy duty trucking, trains, aviation, batteries perhaps are not ideal. And that's why a lot of people are looking at hydrogen. It's a pesky little atom. It's the most abundant element in the universe. It's the smallest atom, very volatile, difficult to work with. But we're making breakthroughs almost by the day in how to use it as a fuel. And that will really, it's not for tomorrow, it's not for 2 years, maybe not for 5 years, but in a decade, yes. That is the future. I mean, there are not a myriad of other opportunities out there, possibilities. So we're very excited about it. I think the innovation revolution in hydrogen is just beginning. We've been looking at battery electric for years and years and making it much more efficient, et cetera. But we're only just starting now in hydrogen. So I think there are going to be some real breakthroughs. Next in 10 years time, you'll probably arrive in Miami or in Los Angeles or in Riyadh for CoMotion conferences in a jet that perhaps is powered by hydrogen.
Wow. You mentioned Riyadh. What do you got going on there?
Well, we're very excited about working with the Saudi government on CoMotion Global.
Okay. Wow.
In December, early December, it's the first one. And Saudi Arabia is, there's so much happening there in terms of remaking cities. I mean, Riyadh has the capital wants to be kind of Dubai on steroids. They have the resources to do it. Very open to new ways of doing things, new technologies. It's also geopolitically positioned as a bridge between East and West. So one of the critical issues of our day is the confrontation between the Chinese and American and the European automotive OEMs, for example.
Okay.
So Saudi Arabia is open to China, US, Europe, etc. So what we do at CoMotion Riyadh will be the one place in the world where the big Asian, the Chinese mobility players, and they're really big and really important, kind of can be at the same table with their counterparts from the West.
So that's coming up this year?
Yeah, absolutely. 7th to 9th of December.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
You got to
man.
come, Paul.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
Thank
Todd.
you, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Take care.
Great to see you here, man.
Hey,
in your
Paul.
home city.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
How's it going with you?
Good.
Great.
So you're the Chief Operating Officer of Miami-Dade
Correct?
Transit. How's it going?
It's going great, man. I think, the biggest thing we're excited about is the launch of our new BRT service. It's going to be the longest all-electric BRT service we know for sure in the country, but potentially in the world.
Wow,
And
that's
so,
cool.
yeah, man. So we're almost done. We have 14 very unique stations. So all of the stations will be level platform boarding. There'll be off-board fare collections. Our
Nice.
buses are unique in the fact
Dedicated
that
lanes?
dedicated lanes. It's currently a transitway that we use today,
Okay.
but we've converted it into just a BRT service. All the buses will have both left door and right door, so people can just pull in because the stations are center platform. It'll be, again, all electric. The buses are fully articulated, so it is
Wow.
going to be.
When's that hitting?
So it's later this summer. The goal
Wow.
is to open it up. We've instituted a lot of the service for it. We have the gate arms in. It'll have dedicated gate arms. So as it's going across
Okay.
cross sections, gate arms will come down. So we're very excited about that service. And then there's a lot of different projects around it. So the end station, it comes into a metro rail station. So we're redoing all of that. So it's a seamless, smooth transition for all of those riders. We're building a brand new $250 million all-electric facility to house those buses. So a lot of cool stuff going on here. And then just in our regular core business, we're starting to see, we did a bus network redesign. You remember Baltimore
Yes.
Link for a
Yes,
couple days
that's
there?
right.
And so we did that last fall, 2 falls ago. And we're starting to see 10% ridership post that. So we've had a
You had a 10% increase since you
increase
implemented that?
since we've implemented
Dude,
it.
that's awesome, Sean.
Yeah, so we're seeing major improvements in our service there. And then as our rail business, as people are starting to come back to the office and you're starting to see some changes to that, we're starting to see our rail operations start to see more ridership as well. So things are going well here.
It's great, man. Way to go, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Billy, thanks for having us to your booth.
Absolutely, it's great to be here.
Yeah, so tell us about REGENT Craft.
So REGENT builds sea gliders, which are all electric flying boats, a whole new mode of transportation that combines some of the best things about boats, the ease of use, the convenience, the low cost, with some of the best things about planes, specifically the speed for regional travel. So sea gliders can go 180 miles at 180 miles an hour on battery technology alone. So it's quiet, it's safe, it's zero emission, and so it's sustainable for our future.
Where do you build these?
REGENT's based in Rhode Island, so we're building this maritime technology in the ocean state. Rhode Island's been great for us. We have our R&D facility, our test facility, just broke ground on our 255,000 square foot manufacturing facility,
Wow, man.
all in Rhode Island. And we're really leveraging not only the great waterways in Narragansett Bay to do our testing, but also the great talent. Rhode Island's home to some of the greatest boat builders in the country, amazing naval architects, maritime composites, really the home of the sailing world. And we get to leverage that building our sea gliders.
So that sounds wild, man. Like, where are you at right now? Do you have any out there yet? I know you got a prototype, right?
We started a few years ago with a small prototype that proved out the unique sort of application and the unique operations of a sea glider, specifically float, foil, and fly. So we float at the dock, you board like a boat, then we use hydrofoil technology to bring us through harbors, so very wave tolerant and maneuverable. And then we take off from those hydrofoils and fly on a cushion of air about 30 feet over the water at high speeds between destinations. So we proved out that technology back a couple of years ago. Now it is incredibly exciting that we have our full-scale prototype on the water, human crew aboard. So when we fly later this summer, this will be the largest electric vehicle ever to fly in human history. It's about 15,000 pounds. The vehicle will carry 12 passengers and 2 crew in the front. And this is the full-size prototype. So we call this our Viceroy Sea Glider. And we'll start production of Viceroy shortly thereafter.
Well, I got to tell you, man, very, very excited about it. So if I'm here in Miami, let's
Yeah.
say I want to go to Fort Lauderdale or Key West, about how long would it take?
Yeah.
Just go ahead. He's going to
Okay.
do 2 shots.
Yeah. Well, Fort Lauderdale is actually a little close for this technology. So let's say we're doing a Miami to West Palm. That's maybe an hour and a half in a car, 2 hours if there's traffic. We can do that in 40 minutes in a Sea Glider. We can make it out to West Palm or even to the Bahamas, sort of the inland Bahamas, 180 miles away. Do that in about an hour. So
Wow.
really fast. We're talking ticket prices for that, $100, maybe even less. Again, 0 emissions, incredibly comfortable ride. It's the best option in all ways, and it's also incredibly safe. We're just flying 30 feet over the water, and so we always have that fallback. You know, an airplane needs to divert and land somewhere.
Right.
Sea Glider can just land on the water and be safe.
Wow.
So it's the safest way to travel. Also fastest, most comfortable, greenest, and most affordable.
It's amazing, man. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael, this is great, man. Normally on our show, we're showing, buses and trains. Today, we're showing the air and the sea kind of modes of transportation. Tell us about what you guys do.
Yeah, Leitner-Poma is a cable-based transportation system. We build gondolas, tramways throughout the world, and here in North America to leverage a third dimension of transit, right above the ground, dedicated guideways that allow us to move thousands of people per hour comfortably with a great view and a minimal footprint on the ground.
That's amazing, man. I mean, these are phenomenal looking. Do you have these operating in a lot of places around the world already?
Sure, there are a number of gondola systems operating around the world. Mexico City, Guayaquil, Ecuador, Medellin, Colombia. Here in the United States, we operate and maintain the Roosevelt Island Tramway, which connects Roosevelt Island into Manhattan. Is one of the most widely traveled tramways in the world, and it's been there since 1977.
So here you got, is this an actual prototype, what you guys use?
This is a 10-passenger gondola cabin, so this would be used on a monocable ropeway.
Okay.
And we would, these vehicles would leave the station about once every 12 seconds, typically.
Okay.
And provide us with 3,000 people per hour transportation capacity, moving people in both directions. And level walk-in, so it's a fully handicap accessible option, and
That's awesome.
provides a great view. There's the glazing ceiling to floor provides just fantastic vistas as you travel along. It's a really nice way to travel.
Yeah. We've ridden these, Jaime and I have ridden these, like going up mountains and things like that.
For sure.
But I've never seen them like in urban environments, like maybe to go to Dodger Stadium or in downtown Baltimore where I used to run the transit system. I can see this going everywhere, man.
Absolutely. There's a lot of situations where we can enhance the existing transit networks by making it easier for certain neighborhoods to access existing rail systems or subway systems, bus rapid transit systems. We're a great multimodal kind of integration piece.
Ben, fancy meeting you here at CoMotion, man.
It's good to see you, Paul.
Yeah, what brings you down here?
I love CoMotion. Spending a lot of time at the public transportation focus conferences. This one is bigger in the sense of there's more diversity in the types of technology options and service options to really help just move people. It's broader. It's all about mobility.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, man, we're looking forward to coming up to see you at CT Transit in Connecticut this July for filming.
Yeah, that's right. We can't wait to have you. We're going to eat some pizza, take some tours. You can see the basketball capital of the U.S. and maybe we will ride some buses and trains too.
So what's the latest happening in Connecticut Transit?
Oh, we're still busy investing in the Northeast Corridor, repairing the tracks and the power and the bridges. On the bus side, we're continuing to see ridership go up, and You know, we have some couple of very innovative projects, automated bus project, which you will see this summer. We're also, of course, going electric like many transit agencies, but all in all, things are going exceptionally well.
That sounds awesome, man. I can't wait to see it all. I like you, really enjoy this because it's like cutting edge, bleeding edge, what's happening in mobility, whether it's, hydrofoil boats or micro transit. You got some stuff going on there, right?
We do,
Yeah.
9 of them. So
What?
2 years ago, yeah, 2 years ago, the legislature allocated some money for us to get it started, and it's been wildly successful. Almost 200,000 rides across the 9 locations, and we're looking forward to making it a permanent fixture.
Boom, baby. That's
Boom.
great. We'll see you in July.
All right,
Thanks, Andy.
see ya.
Okay. Greg, great to see you down here.
Good to
at
see you,
CoMotion.
Paul.
We used to work together in Maryland, and now you're down
Absolutely.
here living the Florida life.
That's right. We're living in palm trees and no snow.
I love it. And you got the tan to show it, man. You didn't have that when you were head of state highway.
No, not at all, not at all.
So what are you doing now? Tell us about what you're at now.
You know, Paul, I oversee, I'm the CEO of an independent special district of the state of Florida.
Okay.
So we're an independent authority. I report to a board of directors of 7. 4 are appointed by the governor. A mayor of the city of Tampa is on my board, one of the county commissioners, and the local FDOT rep is on my board. And so what we do is we generate toll revenue off an expressway system, and then we invest that money 100% back into the local community for mobility projects, local connections, pedestrian. We have a bike and pedestrian greenway. We have a dog park out back. We're building public parks and community spaces.
Wow. So you have a direct connection from an expressway, which is roads,
Right.
into transit-oriented development.
You know, the function of the expressway is up top, but the life is underneath of it, right?
Ah.
So what we do is we bring people into the city. We've got a bike and pedestrian greenway that runs under the structure in the shade of the expressway.
Ah.
We've got pocket parks, a couple of dog parks.
So it's elevated?
Elevated. The entire expressway is elevated. And so what we do is we partner. We've got a large deal for some real estate. We've got about 11 acres downtown. We're looking at a high-tech mobility hub with some transit-oriented development in the middle of the city, trying to connect throughout the region.
That's pretty cool, man. So what do you got coming in the future?
We've got a lot of really big construction happening right now. So the last 2 or 3 years has been foundational. How do we get it where it needs to be? How do we get the whole organization, the whole city understanding where we're headed and what that vision was? And now we're getting ready to lay out a $1 billion work program that's got a ton of construction in it. So we're going to start rebuilding the expressway and rebuilding the connections downtown. We're going to start building. We've got a series of pocket parks that we're going to build. We've got a 12th Street Park that's going to connect the waterfront of downtown Tampa into Ybor City and the historic side of the city, really connecting into the streetcar and that whole network.
So you've really got a symbiotic relationship.
I do. You know, it was interesting. The board of directors, when they hired me, they wanted somebody to understand the business of expressways, but also somebody that could bring in all the other modes of transportation. Somebody could be a voice for all the things that we needed in the city, whether it was development on the land use side, or whether it's elevating the other land use, or whether it's helping the port, the cruise business and the container business, or whether it's helping get people to and from the airport, you know, in a variety of different ways.
That's amazing. You were the same way in Maryland when you were head of the State Highway Administration. I remember when I was head of MTA, you worked closely with us. We remember we did the bike event together in Baltimore City. We did
Snowmageddon together.
That's right, Snowmageddon. Yeah, that was something, dude. Yeah, but it does take that kind of cooperation, right? Buses and microtransit run on roads and expressways, and we've got to all work together.
Absolutely. The growth that we're seeing in Florida is crazy. I mean, we've got roadways that are exceeding the projections by 10 to 15 years. And so to meet those needs and meet those demands, because it's not just growth, it's people traveling differently, they're going in different directions, different times of the day. To meet those demands, we need all modes of transportation. We need all of the above to do it.
That's great, man. Keep up the great work, brother.
Good to see you, Paul.
Yeah, you too. So you had an MPO down here in southern Florida where we're at. What's going on just generally, you know, big picture?
Sure, so we actually have 3 MPOs in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach urbanized area. Our area has over 6 million people. We're expected to grow to over 7 million people in the next 20 to 25 years. So we're really looking at ways and options to move people. Broward and Miami-Dade County are moving forward with options looking at commuter rail along the FEC, along the eastern most corridor of rail, along with Tri-Rail. In our county, Palm Beach County, we're also looking at those options, studying, evaluating where would that make sense. So it's a really exciting time in our region, really shifting the dial towards more options, more premium transit, more walk, bike, and obviously making it smoother and better for cars as well as we provide more options for people to have choices to move.
One thing I've really been impressed by down here, with Dave Deck and with Miami-Dade and you guys and Palm Tran and your agency, is how everybody coordinates together. I mean, that's fantastic. So people can have kind of unstopped mobility from one to the other. Tell me a little bit more about that if you can.
Sure. So we actually have an agency called the Southeast Florida Transportation Council, which is made up of the 3 MPOs. And we look and we develop a regional plan together. So looking out over the next 20, 25 years, that's our regional body. And then Tri-Rail, or SFRTA, they provide commuter rail across the 3 counties. So they're really our partner, and then the 3 transit agencies. We all work together. We each have each MPO has a board of elected officials. Palm Beach, we have 21 elected officials from our 13 largest cities.
Wow.
Port commissioner and 5 county commissioners. So working together on not only our countywide long-range transportation plan with all of our 39 municipalities, but also Broward and Miami-Dade, and this regional plan that we look towards the future, moving everyone. We really are one traveling public. So whether people are driving on I-95, the Turnpike, taking Tri-Rail, Brightline, all these different options, we have to start looking at ways, how are we going to move people in a safe, efficient, and connected way.
Paul, this is a great headquarters you have right here in downtown Miami, but your company's really headquartered in Italy, right?
Correct. We are from Torino, where everything started. Actually, this year we did 95 years of anniversary.
Wow.
And 10 years in US.
And tell us a little bit about your company. What do you guys do?
We are a design house. Everything started from the Farina family, who after became the Pininfarina story, who was the guys hammering the metal, doing the cars, the first shape it. And through that innovative mind, expanded also in products and in all the different categories. Nowadays, we are a 360 design house.
That's amazing.
Designing mobility, products, architecture, everything.
Yeah, but your designs are so fantastic there, and you're the vice president of design, right? So tell us about that kind of, the form and function and the emotion that comes behind your designs.
No, yeah, this is, I think, since the beginning is what we really design are the emotions. So is that the relation between people and the projects we do. We have a beautiful quote from our founder, Paolo Pininfarina. Actually, we put in the wall there. Design is the instrument, to humanize the innovation.
Yeah.
So it's about the human, it's about the relation, it's about the emotionality. That probably is the Italian style, And so every project we try to design the heartbeat of people watching them or using the designs we do.
That's amazing. Now, what's your all's involvement with public transportation? I know you do some out of your Italy headquarters, right?
Correct. So everything starts from cars, other means of transportation, private, public, unique cars, production ones. We have designed some electric cars for the micromobility, some for the public transportation, as you mentioned, but not only the vehicles, but also the bus station, with something like we did here in a competition for the Miami City. So that's where we think the design is going, to design the entire system. So the vehicle itself, but also maybe the stations and the digital interaction you have with the vehicles. So trying to bring all that knowledge and create a unique experience.